Levittown.
This is the Pro Football Report, presented by BCWSA, a weekly recap of your Philadelphia Eagles and all the news around the NFL. Broadcasting live from Chickies and Pete's, tonight's show is brought to you by the Philadelphia Protestant Home, Rob's Automotive and Collision, SEPTA, The Capitol Grill, Cheerleaders Gentlemen's Club, Ventresca's Custom Clothing, Chickies and Pete's, Begley, Carlin, and Mandio Law Firm, Hand and Stone Spa, Penworth Financial Services, BCWSA, and CJ's Tire and Automotive. We now go live to Chickies and Pete's for the Pro Football Report, presented by BCWSA. Now, here are your hosts, Delaware County Times Birds reporter Bob Grotz and voice of the Philadelphia Eagles, Merrill Reese.
Thank you very much. Good to be with you here at Chickies and Pete's. And we are at the Chickies and Pete's in the great Northeast off the Roosevelt Boulevard. Well, Bob, another win. Ho-hum. 4-0 Philadelphia Eagles, the only undefeated team in the NFL.
You really, I mean, it's been like an unbelievable start. Although I thought they could win some games at the beginning. They really, their game plans have been great. The execution has been great. And it's clear that there's a lot of talent on this roster, and they've just begun to see how good they can be.
There are so many good things about this team. One of the good things is the punter. And we are lucky tonight to have Arryn Siposs, the Eagles punter, with us here at Chickies and Pete's in the great Northeast. Arryn, welcome. Great to have you here.
Thanks for having me. It's great to be here, so really appreciate it.
You know, you look like you are always calm, always relaxed. You go out there and you just hammer the ball.
Anything but. It sounds good.
Really?
No. It's been really good so far, and I'll just try and stay as composed as I possibly can. And I've worked on a few things during the off season, and to make sure when I go out there, I just go out there and execute when I need to be, and whenever the offense doesn't execute, which has been very rare so far this year, which has been nice, I'll go out there and get the job done.
Well, as everybody knows, and they can tell from the way you speak, you're not from South Carolina.
That's true.
Even though you did spend time at Auburn. And,
I did.
But you have an interesting story. You grew up in Melbourne, and you played Melbourne, Australia, and you played Australian rules football. How long did you play that?
Well, I really kind of grew up playing that my whole life. So it's from a very young age, I kind of picked up a football when I was about 3 or 4, and that was the sport that I wanted to play growing up, and that's the number one sport in Australia, and just kind of picked it up from there. Played it my whole junior career into high school, and then was fortunate enough to play it professionally for 5 years.
Wow.
And, after a few injuries and that kind of occurred to me that didn't work out in my favour, I decided to focus on trying to be a punter in the NFL, and made the move over here and played at Auburn University for 2 years there, and then spent a year on the practice squad with the Detroit Lions for a whole year, and then Philadelphia gave me the opportunity to come and play here, and I'm very thankful for the opportunity, and hopefully it goes for a little while longer.
You know Cam Johnston, right?
I do.
Can you talk about he played a role, and Cam Johnston, fine punter with the Eagles a few years back. He kind of helped play a role in you coming over, right? Or?
Yeah, for sure. He did. He's been great. I spoke to him regularly, just kind of leading up into it, and originally when I signed, he was still here and wasn't 100% sure what was going to happen, and then obviously, he got the opportunity to go to the Houston Texans, and it's worked out really well for him. But he's been really good to me, and giving me some advice when I needed. And obviously playing here for 3 years himself, he was well aware of the conditions and things like that. What to do, and it just made my life a whole lot easier. So he's been awesome to me.
He's a cool guy. Isn't
He's
he?
a great dude.
Real
yeah.
understated kind of.
Yeah, he's just cool, calm, and kind of composed. Does his thing and keeps relatively quiet, and that's Cam Johnson.
Now, he went to Ohio State.
He did. Yes, he did. He won a championship there too. So he's obviously played in front of the big crowds and before, and He's doing a great job for the Houston Texans right now. He's quite busy there, that's for sure.
When did you actually start to punt?
I started punting actually in 2016. So full-time kind of really got into it, and that's probably not as long compared to most kids and people that are in the league right now.
Not.
But, I really kind of honed in on it, and I knew in my mind that if I want to make something of it and try and get to the NFL, then I have to dedicate my time to do it. So I really, in 2016 and 17 is where I put it at the forefront of my mind and focused on it 100%. And, then I came over here in 2018, as I said, to play with Auburn, and being able to play in front of crowds like that and execute in situations like that hopefully could put me in a good position to be effective here.
Isn't there an organization over in Australia that trains punters and then starts the process getting them into American universities?
Yep.
And they take off from there?
That's correct. The coach's name is Nathan Chapman, and he's got a program called Pro Kick Australia.
Pro Kick Australia.
Yeah, and,
now, do they work with place kickers and punters?
Just punters.
Just punters.
So obviously the transition from Australian rules football, which a lot of people kick, into trying to be a punter is, obviously makes it so successful, at least in the college aspect. Obviously there's still plenty of work done, and the NFL's a different beast. So, if you get yourself in there, it's obviously a huge thing. But, the college football game has certainly changed with all the Australians kind of coming in and changing the dynamic of it, and probably made it even more interesting in a way too. So, Chappie's been great to me, and he's definitely a mentor of mine, and I do speak to him regularly to make sure that I'm kind of just, adjusting to things or anything I kind of need to work on a little bit. He's there, and it's been awesome.
Do you have an idea, a rough guess of the 32 NFL franchises, how many have Australian punters?
There is a total of 4 right now.
Just 4?
Yes. So I think there was Jordan Berry was with Minnesota last year and was with Pittsburgh previously, so he was the 5th one. But obviously he's looking for another opportunity, so I hope he finds one very soon. But obviously there's myself and Cam Johnson, Michael Dixon, and Mitch Wisnowski, who's at San Francisco right now. So we've had a few come through. I know even we had Big Sav Rocker here.
Sav Rocker was here, yeah. Did you know him?
I haven't met him personally yet.
Okay.
He was obviously a bit before, my time in that, but he's been great. And we've had Ben Graham, who was at Detroit and Arizona for a bit.
Very
and,
good.
Darren Bennett was probably the one that started it all with
the
the Chargers.
He did start it with the Chargers, and then there was another one at who we've had on the show from Dallas.
Who was the
Matt
guy?
McBride.
Yes,
Matt
McBride as well. So there's been a few that have come through for sure and played their part, and hopefully there's a few more to come.
Now you were kicking. You were a forward in Australian rules football, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you were kicking drop kicks.
So it's essentially just a drop punt. So the end over end ball that I do, when we're in the kind of plus 50, area on the weekends, that's basically what our kick is. That's what we do all the time in our game, except I just try and put it through the big uprights, and that's how it works.
Does the ball hit the ground?
It does hit the ground, and it's you can still go through, forward and things like that, and it can still score that way. So it doesn't have to, stay in the air the whole time for it to be a score. If nobody touches it, then that's the way it
legal
works.
here. You know that, right? You
Now,
can kick a
do
field goal that way. Here,
Our guest is Eagles punter Arryn Siposs.
I'm just saying, just in case.
Well, do you vary your punts? Sometimes you use the spiral. Other times you use we call it an Australian punt. It's end over end.
Well, I guess the Americans have called it the end over end, so I've just jumped on board that train. So that's how it is. But it's what I would say it's called a drop punt. So that's
a drop punt.
It's just what I grew up saying my whole life.
So in other words, do you drop it lower?
I just drop it lower, and the angle of the ball's a lot different compared to the traditional spiral. So
do you kick the end of it?
So say for instance the angle of the ball's like a little bit like this. I just kind of try and hit the bottom of it a little bit without hitting the actual pointy part, or else it doesn't really go anywhere. So, that they're just kind of slight variations to still be more effective and, try and put it in the right spot and make it tough for the opposition's returner to try and get the ball. And I kind of change it up a little bit to try and mess with them. That's for sure.
Yeah. Well, the punter before Cam had learned the Australian way to do it. His name was Donnie Jones.
Yep.
Do you know of Donnie?
I do know of Johnny.
Donnie is a great guy.
He's a great guy.
He also would
I've
come out and golf.
I've heard good stories about Donnie, so that's great.
But now you have a way of, when you use the Australian type of kick, of putting it down inside the 10, and it's almost like, and I know you're a golfer, like hitting a wedge and it puts on the brakes.
That's
Sometimes spins backwards.
That's basically what I try and do most of the time. I'm not always successful. I would like to be a little bit more. That's basically what I try and do. I try and get it, bounce it anywhere between the 5-6 yard line and let it kind of stop on the spot there and get our gunners down there to be able to kind of make the play and make it hard for the returner to get any form of yardage. So, that's just basically what I try and do and be as effective as possible. And, I love doing it.
When do you kick the spiral? When you have to really drive it deep?
When I really have to kind of drive it. So, basically if we're like minus 40 or, further back, that's where I can kind of really get onto it. And, knowing that I have all that field to be able to, kick it, that's where it is. It's the end over end is more of a situation where you don't have as long a field to be able to kick the ball, and that just gives me more control, I guess, in terms of being able to pin the opposition. And you probably see that every single week with every other punter too. They all do the same thing now, and when the spiral comes out, that's when you've got the minus 30 area to really get after it and try and kick it as far as you possibly can.
But Bob, do you realize when we first started covering the games, the art of punting involved something called the coffin corner punt. And they were angling towards the sideline to prevent any kind of run back.
Yep, that's what we do. It gives the returner a tougher time, and it automatically kind of takes away 2/3 of the field.
You're still doing that?
Absolutely. So I try to anyway. I'm not always probably as effective as I'd like to be. But that's just the things that I continue to work on every week to make sure I get better and better. And that's all there is to it.
And the other kind of punt, and we're seeing this a lot more now, is the high short punt, which will, and much to Britton Covey's dismay, he doesn't get a chance to really get any cushion and have a run back. Almost everything becomes a fair catch because they would sacrifice 5 or 6 yards to have a punt that isn't returned. Because you have to call a fair catch.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the returners in the game are so dynamic and so explosive that you try and limit their opportunity as much as you possibly can. And if that means that you're taking away 4 or 5 yards from it, then that's all there is to it. You'd rather have that kind of play and make them fair catch rather than them trying to run it back for a touchdown. So sometimes that's not the case. Most of the time, hopefully it is. But that's kind of what we need to do.
But let me tell you something. You are an athlete, and you are a great athlete. And Bobby will tell you one of the best plays we've seen this year was in the Minnesota game, where Jake Elliott had the punt blocked. It was picked up, and you, from giving the returner about a 10-yard head start, went downfield and made a classic textbook tackle.
Yeah, that was pretty fun. I'm not going to lie. Hopefully I don't have to do it again. That'd be, I'd rather put the 3 points on the board and and make it I think at that time it probably would have been a 20-point lead.
That would have been a momentum change.
Yeah, for sure. But obviously going down there and making the tackle instead of them scoring 7 points on it and having a 10-point swing, it was obviously very good. And then obviously we got the pick, 3 or 4 plays later, which was great. So, obviously, it was nice to go and do, but hopefully I don't have to do it too often.
Have you made tackles
still
before?
talking about that, by the way.
I've made a couple tackles. We tackle a lot in Australian rules as well. So, obviously I'm aware and more than capable to be able to do it. So when the opportunity comes around, I'll be ready to go, which hopefully that's what you saw against Minnesota.
And I would imagine most of the tackles you've made have been on punt returns.
Okay. Well, so I haven't actually had to make any on punt return yet because I guess our guys have been doing a really good job in terms of getting down there and making the tackles themselves. So I haven't had to do that just yet. Obviously, there's been a couple of punts in there that haven't been so great, so I haven't given the returner a chance to even kind of do it. But, I'm certainly making progress and I feel like I'm becoming a lot more consistent, and that means our guys can go down there and actually really make good plays. So
They're still talking about that tackle in Minnesota. Chris Boyd, yeah. I mean, they still are. Next time you guys play Minnesota, if he's still with the Vikings,
I'll let him know.
yeah, you ought to offer to autograph a glove or something. Give it
for
to
sure.
him. Yeah,
for sure. That sounds good to me.
I have this question. I'm going to forget this if I don't ask it.
Go ahead.
Jim McMahon used to drop kick all the time.
Jim
Pre-game.
McMahon was a former
quarterback,
for
right.
the Bears, and then came
Right.
ultimately played for the Eagles.
Okay.
So now you did that to get points in AFL.
Yeah.
What's your longest drop kick?
Oh, gee, I mean, I haven't done it for such a long time. I'd probably maybe 40, 45 yards, maybe. So something like that. But it's been a long time.
That's good
so.
enough, right, Merrill? Yeah.
Well, it has been tried
I know
in
it
the
has
NFL. I
been.
believe it was
It's
Doug
been done.
Flutie.
Yeah.
Doug Flutie, remember?
Yeah, it's been done.
Yeah, but it's very rare.
It's very rare.
very-
We'll just let the kickers do
That's
their
because
thing
they
and
don't know
that's
how
it.
to do it.
No, you know what? I put the position. I give the ball to you to hold,
Yeah.
and then Jake Elliott to kick
Yeah,
any
that's
day.
right. We'll just keep it at that.
I forgot about holding. That's another
Yeah.
thing. When did you learn how to hold?
Yeah, I'm kind of just, again, the way Australian rules works is just, I use my hands a lot, catching the ball, and you just kind of learn through the same program, with Nathan Chapman. And not only do we focus on punting, but we focus on holding because that's what punters do as well. And work on that continually, and you kind of get into a bit of a rhythm with it all, which is great. And so far so good. Obviously, it's been awesome to do. It kind of gives you another to be part of the game, and it's always nice feeling, especially when your kicker's having such a successful time doing it too, kicking the ball. So it's great.
Is Jake demanding? Does Jake have a special way that he likes you to set it up?
Jake's pretty good about it all, to be honest. He doesn't give you much of a hard time anyway, and obviously I pride myself on making sure that it's in the perfect spot for him every single time and things like that. But he's very good at kind of adjusting on the fly. If there is a case where we're maybe not 100% clean, he comes in and makes it look clean every single time. But in saying that, we have a really, really good operation, and Rick Lovato is extraordinary at what
he is a
he
great
does.
center snapper.
I know the long snapper doesn't
Long
get
snapper.
any credit that what they deserve, but when some guy's been doing it for 8+ years, he's clearly doing something right, and our operation is really good right now, and look forward to making that continue.
His snaps are like a shot out of a gun.
They're great.
They're
Yeah.
among the
They
fastest.
just stick in my hands so easily, and it just makes everything else run so smoothly.
Now you have to spin the ball, right, and make sure
Well,
that
hopefully not. Hopefully, actually not. If Rick obviously does very, very well with
he
it,
will
all, then
have
we
it
don't
so
have
that you
to.
just
Yeah,
place it
that's-
down, and the laces are away from the
basically
kick.
that's part of the operation too. Is that
Really?
we work on. He works on, the ball being in his hands in a particular way. So when it gets to me, I actually don't necessarily have to spin the ball. But,
Really?
if it
It's
does,
that
happen,
exacting that he
basically.
knows how many revolutions are going to take.
Yep.
And
Yep.
you are for a field goal 8 yards deep.
Yep, 8 yards deep. And then, as I said, that's the stuff that we work on. So I know not many people kind of know about that, and that's fair enough. I'm sure lots of people think that it's just about going out there, snapping the ball, and see what happens.
It's got to be 8 yards deep.
But 8 yards, he knows exactly where he needs to be in his hand to make sure it gets to me in the perfect spot, and then I'm hopefully able to put it down with ease, and Jake executes. But again, if it doesn't, I know how to spin the ball. I know how to put it in the right spot for Jake. So if it does happen, then that's the part that I work on in my craft to make sure it's in the right spot for him every time, so he doesn't have to hit laces.
Okay, what's the time involved? How many?
Oh, gee,
do you know?
From him snapping to Jake kicking.
From the time that Rick Lovato lets go of the ball to the time that Jake actually hits the ball.
It's about 1.3 seconds.
I was going to say 1.8. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. 1.3.
1.3 is the number you try to hit.
Yep.
That's great.
Every time.
All right, we're going to take 1.3 seconds and go to a break, and we'll be back with Arryn Siposs right after this.
Hi, it's Pete from Chicky and Pete's. Check out Chicky and Pete's all-new happy hour every weekday starting at 4 p.m. Enjoy select craft beers, seltzers, and wines for $5, plus feature cocktails for $7 on our special happy hour food menu. We call it the Bar Board, with world-famous crab fries, tasty pretzel nuggets, and get ready, Curds Aroni, with crispy bacon and Dijon cheese sauce. Chicky and Pete's all-new happy hour every weekday starting at 4 p.m. Chickies and Pete's.
Former Philly Tommy Green, and here's the pitch. More people are online every day to check and pay their bills. Now you can have your BCWSA utility bill delivered electronically. Enrollment couldn't be easier. Just go to bcwsa.net or call 800-222-2068. With electronic billing, you have control to see your bills whenever you want and enjoy the convenience of viewing and printing up to 13 months of your previous bills. Best of all, the service is free. Sign up for e-billing at bcwsa.net. BCWSA, proven.
Ventresca Limited, the Delaware Valley men's store, is located in historic Doylestown. For casual clothing in denim to business suits and tuxedos, Ventresca Limited has a large selection you have to see to believe. The experienced and knowledgeable sales staff can show you the many brand labels that have made Ventresca Limited in Doylestown a must for men concerned about their image. Select from Canali, Brax Jeans, Hickey Freeman, Johnson Murphy Footwear, and much more. Custom alterations are free. Visit Ventresca Limited on the web at ventresca.com.
A flawless occasion begins at the Capitol Grill. From the moment you step into the Capitol Grill, located in the heart of Center City, the experience is one of comfortable elegance. Whether you're looking to host a private affair, a perfect lunch stop, or dinner destination, start your occasion at the Capitol Grill today. Visit thecapitolgrill.com or call 215-545-9588. That's 215-545-9588 for the Capitol Grill, Center City. Your day-to-day life is hectic between having to pick up the kids, make dinner, the countless other tasks that you got to get done. Rob's Automotive and Collision is there to make your life a whole lot easier. Make sure you take advantage of their spacious waiting rooms, the large flat-screen TVs, complimentary coffee and muffins, and free Wi-Fi. So even when you do have to stop, Rob's is there to make you feel right at home. Give Rob's a call today at 215-826-9200 for any of your auto repair needs.
When an Eagles player gets hurt, the team takes care of him. When you get hurt, the attorneys at Begley, Carlin, and Mandio will take care of you. They understand that a severe accident can be a life-altering event. You need a reliable teammate to fight for you. The attorneys at Begley, Carlin, and Mandio will get you great results. And if there's no recovery, there's no fee. Contact them today at 215-750-0110 for a free consultation. 215-750-0110 for a reliable ally that's on your side.
Fall into relaxation at Hand and Stone Massage and Facial Spa. For an introductory price of just $69.95, enjoy the tranquility of their massage services and the rejuvenating glow their facial services provide. They even have specialty services such as a pumpkin facial or their signature hot stone massage. Restore, relax, and reset at one of Hand and Stone's 57 locations in Delaware, South Jersey, and Philadelphia, including the Lehigh Valley. For an introductory price of just $69.95. Call or book online at handandstone.com. Restrictions apply. See spa for details.
Don't hang out alone in the man cave this football season. Hang out at Cheerleaders with sexy entertainers, $4 Miller Lights, Jameson specials, and awesome game day prizes during all Sunday and Monday football games. Stop in before, during, or after the game to see your favorite entertainers and your chance to win an awesome game day prize. The most epic game day experience is at Cheerleaders Gentlemen's Club, where champions play. Open daily from noon until 2 a.m.
The life of a Philly sports fan is a wild ride. Some years we fly high, some years we don't. What never changes year after year is how we get to the game, shoulder to shoulder with our fellow fans on SEPTA. On the way to the tailgate, coin toss, and kickoff, the Broad Street line takes us from home to home field, and this season home free thanks to Bet Parks. Plan your trip to the game and learn more about free rides home. Sponsored by Bet Parks at iseptaphilly.com.
We now return to Chickies and Pete's for the Pro Football Report, presented by BCWSA. Once again, here are your hosts, Delaware County Times Birds reporter Bob Grotz and voice of the Philadelphia Eagles, Merrill Reese.
And back we are at Chickies and Pete's in the Great Northeast. Merrill, Bob, and Eagles punter Arryn Siposs. We were talking about the technique. We were talking about the time that you have to allow to get off a kick. That's 1.3. How about the time of a punt from the snap until the punt?
About 2 seconds.
2 seconds.
Yeah, so if I do it in about 2 seconds from snap to kick, then that's normally plenty of time to be able to get it off and make sure that nobody's coming in to block it. So that's about the time.
And you are how many yards behind the line of scrimmage?
I'm anywhere between 14 to 15 yards normally. So,
okay.
Yeah, give myself a little bit more to Rick to be able to rip it back. And then obviously, with a couple of steps that I take to get some momentum, I have to give myself that much distance to make sure we're good to go.
So for those of you taking notes, it's 8 yards when you're the holder.
That's
for
right.
For the place kicker.
Yep.
And it's about 15 yards, give or take a yard.
Spot on.
For the punter. That's great.
Yeah.
That's great.
And the up back is calling the cadence, is it? Or
Yeah, so I guess
How
we
does
call
that-
it a personal protector, which
It's always been
is
called that.
Kayvon Wallace this year, and he's been doing an unbelievable job. He's taken over from Marcus, that's obviously playing a lot more on the defense now, and he's the one that calls out all the cadence for us to, everybody knows what they have to do, which way we're going, and basically he's done a great job.
They haven't tried anything with you throwing yet.
Not yet.
Can you pass?
I can though. So
Yeah.
if it's there, then we'll take the opportunity to be
spiral?
able
Can
to
you
do
spiral
it. So,
it?
yeah, I
Yeah.
can spiral it.
Okay.
So it's
Okay.
I always work on things to make sure that we can add a few things to our bow.
I'm sure.
And make it harder for I guess the opposition to try and think that they can maybe come and rush us all the time and things like that. So we work on a few things to make sure that we're good to go.
The last Eagles punter, Bob Grotz, to throw a pass was?
Donnie Jones?
Nope.
He might be
was
in
before
trouble.
that. Before that.
No, I'm sorry. I'm saying punter. He wasn't the punter. The last Eagle in the special teamer to throw.
David Akers.
David Akers.
Yeah.
There you go.
Do you know David Akers?
I do.
Or you know of David? He's in the Eagles Hall of Fame.
Yep, I know of David.
And very
yep.
often, not very often,
very, very
but
good.
but he was also the holder.
Yep.
And for place, no, he wasn't the holder.
Yeah.
Coy Detmer
kicker,
was
yeah.
the holder. He
Yeah.
was the kicker. But there were times when Coy Detmer would take the snap,
Okay.
toss it back to David Akers, and he would
Pass
throw,
it off, yeah.
or he would also run with the ball on occasion.
Yeah. Well, if either one pops up and there's an opportunity, I'll be ready to go.
Now, your opponent this Sunday in Arizona, their punter has been around about 100 years. And his name is Andy Lee.
Yeah,
and he's
he's
played for half the teams in the league.
He has been. He has made his way around for sure.
Yeah.
But I guess if you're playing for that long, then you're doing something right. And he's been very successful for a long time. And obviously, it's a credit to him for being able to stick around this long. No matter where he's been, it's been good for him. So, I've never met him before, so I look forward to meeting him and see what he's all about. And I'm looking forward to seeing Matt Prater as well. I was with Matt Prater in Detroit for
Matt
that
Prater
year
has
too,
been a
and
very successful kicker.
he's a great person too. So very much looking forward to seeing those guys this weekend.
Matt Prater, I believe, at one point
Held the record.
Held the record
Yeah.
for the longest field goal.
He
He was
did.
in Denver at the time.
Was it
Yes.
62?
It was 65,
okay.
and then Tucker hit the 66 last
Yeah.
year. So Prater.
He-
I
he's-
messaged Prater afterwards about it, and it was fair to say he was pretty flat. So
I'll bet. I'll bet.
when you think the record, something like that probably wouldn't be broken, and then it does. So who knows? Maybe he's got one more in him. Maybe.
66.
Merrill was at the game when Tom Dempsey kicked
Well,
that.
no, you don't know about Tom Dempsey,
I don't.
do you? Okay.
No, I don't.
Once upon a time,
he was a great guy.
this is.
I met him.
Did you? What
Yeah.
was this? Was
At
in
an
the
Eagles
this
practice.
was in the late '60s, right?
Could-
and the
yeah.
early. It was pre-Vermeil,
Right. No, the goal posts were at the front. They were at the goal line,
but
right?
but Tom Dempsey had a birth defect where he was born with half a foot.
That's right. And
he wore
like the thing at the front.
It almost looked like a hoof.
Yeah.
It was a short shoe.
It's kind of an
with, and
orthotic,
it was
right?
square. And he kicked straight
Just
on.
straight, yeah.
And he kicked a ball for the New Orleans Saints to beat the Detroit Lions.
Okay.
And it was 61 yards.
Wow.
And that record stood for a long time.
Yeah.
And here's how the officials called that. They were right underneath the goalpost.
That's right. That's right. Now, Jake has kicked a 61-yarder.
He has, yeah.
I believe to this day that first of all, the Eagles had a kicker named Caleb Sturgis.
Yep.
And he got hurt early in the season.
Yep.
The Eagles went to Cincinnati and signed Jake off the practice squad.
Yep.
And they had a game against the New York Giants, and it went back and forth and back and forth. And the Eagles had one last drive, and they completed a pass to Alshon Jeffrey for 17 yards, and he stepped out of bounds.
Yep.
And they had one last shot, and Jake kicks a 61-yarder to beat the Giants.
Yep.
At the time, I think the Eagles were 2-4
right
at that point. That kick
Changed
the entire season. It changed
You're
the season.
not the only one I've heard say that.
I
You
mean
definitely won't be the last, I'm sure of that.
sure.
But, obviously that's, I try and do a little bit of research on it. I don't just
I know,
come into
you're pretty good at
Philadelphia
this.
and just,
you're very good
come and
about
play.
this.
I try and do a little bit of research on it and a bit of history about it as best as I can. And obviously what he was able to do in particular in that game, and then in his first season, it's pretty impressive. So, changed everything.
I often refer to him when they're playing New York as Jake the Giant Killer.
Okay, well, there you go.
There
That's
are
even better.
two giant
like that.
killers on this team. Jake the Giant Killer and also Boston Scott as a giant killer.
Yeah.
He's had great games against
He's
the
had
Giants.
like 50 touchdowns against them.
Yeah, that's good.
It's amazing.
We'll get him a few more this year, too.
Well, I think he will. Arryn Siposs, our guest here at Chickies and the Pete's in the Great Northeast. Arryn, what was it like growing up in Melbourne, Australia, and all of a sudden you found yourself on the campus of Auburn University? What was it like being at Auburn?
It's a beautiful campus. Yeah, it really is.
Auburn, Alabama, right?
Auburn, Alabama. Certainly moving from Australia to Alabama was a little bit different.
It's culture shock.
Just to say the least. Definitely a bit of a culture
Now,
shock.
were you married yet?
No, I was engaged, though. So my now wife moved over here with me. So we both did this journey together, and she's been outstanding, and she loved the campus too. Actually, she enjoyed the game day, tailgates and things like that. And Auburn know how to put on a bit of a party, which is good for the game days.
I would think so.
Yeah, so that was pretty cool, and it was great to experience for the 2 years that I was there. There's such a rich history there. Obviously, they play in big games almost every single week in the SEC, and it was great to be a part of. And they have such big rivalries, obviously, with Alabama and LSU, and it was so good to be part of and take part in and do that, and it was awesome. So, very fond memories. I've made some great friendships out of it there too, and still speak to people today.
How about academically? What was the coursework?
It was. I did education, so when it's all finished, and if football's over and done with, and I want to kind of get into coaching or be a teacher. Whether it's here or whether it's back home in Australia, we'll worry about that when the time comes. But that's what I want. That's what I want to do when it's all finished. And obviously, we have plenty of teachers and people that can help us out.
Were you
there
able
with the
to
stuff,
finish
which was
up
good.
there?
Or I didn't finish it. I left a year early, but I've almost completed it now. So
really,
yeah,
you've done it in the off seasons?
I've done it in the off seasons. I've even
that's
done it. I've
great.
even done it during the season. So yeah,
no
I
kidding.
just
Online, of course.
Yeah, online, and just kind of tick away at it and make sure I get it completed.
Boy, that's great.
That is right. That is half the reason why I did come over here.
That's
to
very
do that.
smart. That's very smart.
I want to make sure that I do finish it. So when football doesn't last forever, and hopefully it's longer than shorter. But whatever happens, at least there's something else to be able
Fall
to
back
fall
on.
back
Who
on.
was the
and finish.
quarterback while you were there?
I had Jarrett Stidham for 1 year, who's
Okay.
now at the Raiders. Obviously got drafted by the Patriots a few years ago. And then we had young Bo Nix in his rookie year, in his first year as a freshman, who's now at the Oregon Ducks. So, both great kids. Bo obviously is looking for a big year this year to go obviously and make it to the NFL. But yeah, it was good. We had a tough year in my first year that didn't go very, very well. And then the second year we were decent. But there's always high expectations at Auburn football.
Well,
so.
thank goodness you're an Eagle now, and you don't have to worry about
That's right.
losing to Penn State 2 years in a row.
That's right.
All
yes,
right, we're going to be
exactly.
back with Arryn Siposs right after this.
Hi, it's Pete from Chicky and Pete's College Football is back. Come join us for XL College Football Saturdays every Saturday starting at 11 a.m. We have you covered. Ice cold domestic draft personal pitchers for just $5. Plus a wing special for you and your crew like no other. 40 classic or boneless Chicky and Pete's award-winning wings for just $60. Choose from buffalo, barbecue, dry rub, or the new kid on the wing block, spicy Thai peanut wings. XL College Football Saturdays only from Chickies and Pete's.
BCWSA customers, former Phillies pitcher Tommy Green here. I played on the 1993 National League champs, so I know a thing or two about what it's like playing on a winning team. BCWSA has all the ingredients. They make it easy for their customers to get automatic updates by text, email, or phone anytime there is a disruption in your service area. You can even customize your alerts by going to bcwsa.net. That's bcwsa.net. BCWSA, your partner for a safer environment. BCWSA, proven.
Ventresca Limited, the Delaware Valley men's store, is located in historic Doylestown. For casual clothing in denim to business suits and tuxedos, Ventresca Limited has a large selection you have to see to believe. The experienced and knowledgeable sales staff can show you the many brand labels that have made Ventresca Limited in Doylestown a must for men concerned about their image. Select from Canali, Brax Jeans, Hickey Freeman, Johnson Murphy Footwear, and much more. Custom alterations are free. Visit Ventresca Limited on the web at ventresca.com.
A flawless occasion begins at the Capitol Grill. From the moment you step into the Capitol Grill, located in the heart of Center City, the experience is one of comfortable elegance. Whether you're looking to host a private affair, a perfect lunch stop, or dinner destination, start your occasion at the Capitol Grill today. Visit thecapitolgrill.com or call 215-545-9588. That's 215-545-9588 for the Capitol Grill, Center City. Your day-to-day life is hectic between having to pick up the kids, make dinner, the countless other tasks that you got to get done. Rob's Automotive and Collision is there to make your life a whole lot easier. Make sure you take advantage of their spacious waiting rooms, the large flat-screen TVs, complimentary coffee and muffins, and free Wi-Fi. So even when you do have to stop, Rob's is there to make you feel right at home. Give Rob's a call today at 215-826-9200 for any of your auto repair needs.
Philadelphia Protestant Home is a premier senior living community that offers affordable, quality, independent living, personal care, skilled nursing, and rehabilitation. PPH is located on a beautiful, serene campus within minutes of Bucks County and features a variety of on-site amenities for active lifestyles. Bowling alley, computer learning center, greenhouse, bank, market, and coming soon, a pharmacy. Call now to schedule a tour, 215-697-8000, or visit us on the web at pphfamily.org. At PPH, we're family.
Enjoy a world of Italian wine and cuisine in nearby Philadelphia at Grand Cafe La Cola. This Italian landmark cafe offers a wide variety of Italian options for both lunch and dinner, and before you leave, try their award-winning gelatos. Offering an online market for your favorite meats, cheeses, coffee, and much more, it's Grand Cafe La Cola website at grandcafelacola.com. Call them today at 215-568-5600. That's 215-568-5600. Or visit them at their flagship location at 1716 Chestnut Street in Philadelphia. The world of Italian cuisine is only a 30-minute drive away at Grand Cafe La Cola.
Fall into relaxation at Hand and Stone Massage and Facial Spa. For an introductory price of just $69.95, enjoy the tranquility of their massage services and the rejuvenating glow their facial services provide. They even have specialty services such as a pumpkin facial or their signature hot stone massage. Restore, relax, and reset at one of Hand and Stone's 57 locations in Delaware, South Jersey, and Philadelphia, including the Lehigh Valley. For an introductory price of just $69.95. Call or book online at handandstone.com. Restrictions apply. See spa for details.
All tires aren't the same, and neither are all tire dealers. Michelin Tires offers safe, fuel-efficient, long-lasting tires that provide exceptional performance and extraordinary value. BF Goodrich tires are built for drivers looking for high performance and aggressive styling. Trust the tire experts at CJ's Tire and Automotive in Fairless Hills. They'll get you in and out in no time, and their everyday low prices on BF Goodrich and Michelin tires can't be beat. CJ's Tire and Automotive. Better, faster, and more affordable.
We now return to Chickies and Pete's for the Pro Football Report, presented by BCWSA. Once again, here are your hosts, Delaware County Times Birds reporter Bob Grotz and voice of the Philadelphia Eagles, Merrill Reese.
And it is time now for this week's injury review, brought to you by the attorneys at Begley, Carlin, and Mandio. Contact them today for a free consultation at 215-806-3689. 215-806-3689. All right, Bob, take us through the lengthy list.
Yeah, hey, the list is growing. Yeah. Jake Elliott, the kicker, we saw that hit that he took on his foot, so
we'll see.
That could be an issue. Jordan Mailata, it's his shoulder.
Right.
He tried to do a few things during the game. He had an MRI. Isaac Samalo. Now, Landon Dickerson. Yeah. Siamalo.
Yes.
Right? Landon Dickerson was inadvertently blocked into his ankle. He stepped on his ankle. So that one didn't look good to me at all. And Darius Slay, forearm, I think I'm pretty sure he'll be back. He had a little bit of a splint or a bandage on it, but I think he'll be all right. And we'll have to wait until Wednesday, like Nick said,
tomorrow,
to see who practices.
Well, Nick will give them a lowdown on it tomorrow. Also out were Boston Scott.
Oh, and Avante Maddox.
Maddox.
Right. I think Avante was an ankle. Boston Scott.
But we don't know. We're guessing. Nick said yesterday that none of them would be ruled out for the game at this point.
Yeah, he's hopeful.
He will give more detail, but as far as Jake is concerned, we don't know.
Yeah, but there's nothing to worry about because we know somebody who can drop kick 45-yard field goals. Yeah, I mean, if it's an emergency, no need to worry.
we don't know that we're going to see any drop kicks, and hopefully we see Jake Elliott and that he's well. He's quite an athlete, isn't he?
Yes, he is. He can do a lot of things well. So kicking, obviously, is one. Pretty good golf game.
A very good golf game. Played in the Philadelphia Open.
Yep, he did. Very good tennis player.
Went to Memphis on a tennis scholarship.
And obviously, to go with that, he's very good at the ping pong / table tennis as well.
Oh, he's good at that too?
Yeah. I mean, there's not many things that he can't do, which is kind of annoying because I'm the one that has to play against him most of the time. Yeah. But, it's good. He's a very good athlete. And it's been great to be with him.
Carson Wentz, after the 2018-17 season, when he came back, he had a charity softball game over at the bank, at Citizen Bank Park. And Jake was playing shortstop.
Yeah.
I mean, he looked like a major league shortstop the way he went into the hole.
He can move.
And he had a couple home runs.
Yeah, he can move, and he's a very, very good athlete. So
amazing.
Man of many trades, I guess.
Yeah. So anyhow, we got you through Auburn. And then you were taken by the Detroit Lions, right?
I was. I went through the process after 2 years at Auburn University, and was fortunate enough to be invited to the combine as an underage or bottom eight, I guess. As a junior is the best way to describe it, and went through that process there, which was great to experience that, and kick in front of all the scouts and coordinators there, which was good, and from there. Detroit were probably the team that I definitely spoke to the most throughout that time. They were looking for someone at the time, and obviously I think Sam Martin was there at that time, but was kind of in the process of like maybe a bigger contract that obviously Detroit weren't willing to put up with just yet, and so there was definitely a position available. I obviously would have loved to have been drafted, but punters obviously it's very, very rare, and I was very fortunate to have the opportunity for the Lions to call me very quickly after the draft. Well, actually, probably before the draft had even finished, they contacted me and my agent to say, hey, if nobody else kind of takes him, then we'd love to have him. And I saw it as a great opportunity to be able to do that, and was in a great competition with Jack Fox, who's obviously there now, and we honestly were neck and neck. It was so close throughout the whole training camp, and it was, while it didn't work out for me in the end, I think it kind of, made me a better punter going through that process and then being there for the whole year on the practice
Would
squad,
that have
which
been
was
Matt
good.
Patricia?
Matt Patricia was there. He got fired, I think, after the Thanksgiving game.
Yeah.
There was a pretty heavy defeat to the Houston Texans on that day. And, in all honesty, I have to thank Matt for giving me the opportunity to be part of that organisation, giving me a chance to be in the NFL. So I wouldn't be where I am without him. And Bob Quinn, the GM at the time too. And it's definitely led me to be in this position now.
And Slade was still there, right?
Slade had actually just left the year before, so I just missed him. But but he's obviously got fond memories of the Lions too. And talks about it a bit.
And you missed Dan Campbell.
I did miss Dan Campbell. High energy type of guy. I still speak to a few of the Detroit guys now, in particular, obviously Jack.
Did you watch Hard Knocks?
I watched Hard Knocks because I wanted to have a look how they were going to look, obviously, week one as well, because I've certainly kind of concentrated on the football side of things a bit more, which has been great. And, he's a high energy guy. I'll say that much.
He is.
Yeah.
All right, we'll be back with Arryn Siposs right after this.
Hi, it's Pete from Chicky and Pete's. Check out Chicky and Pete's all-new happy hour every weekday starting at 4 p.m. Enjoy select craft beers, seltzers, and wines for $5, plus feature cocktails for $7. Happy hour food menu. We call it the Bar Board, with world-famous crab fries, tasty pretzel nuggets, and get ready, Curds Aroni, with crispy bacon and Dijon cheese sauce. Chicky and Pete's all-new happy hour every weekday starting at 4 p.m. Chickies and Pete's.
Former Philly Tommy Green, and here's the pitch. More people are online every day to check and pay their bills. Now you can have your BCWSA utility bill delivered electronically. Enrollment couldn't be easier. Just go to bcwsa.net or call 800-222-2068. With electronic billing, you have control to see your bills whenever you want and enjoy the convenience of viewing and printing up to 13 months of your previous bills. Best of all, the service is free. Sign up for e-billing at bcwsa.net. BCWSA, proven.
Ventresca Limited, the Delaware Valley men's store, is located in historic Doylestown. For casual clothing in denim to business suits and tuxedos, Ventresca Limited has a large selection you have to see to believe. The experienced and knowledgeable sales staff can show you the many brand labels that have made Ventresca Limited in Doylestown a must for men concerned about their image. Select from Canali, Brax Jeans, Hickey Freeman, Johnson Murphy Footwear, and much more. Custom alterations are free. Visit Ventresca Limited on the web at ventresca.com.
A flawless occasion begins at the Capitol Grill. From the moment you step into the Capitol Grill, located in the heart of Center City, the experience is one of comfortable elegance. Whether you're looking to host a private affair, a perfect lunch stop, or dinner destination, start your occasion at the Capitol Grill today. Visit thecapitolgrill.com or call 215-545-9588. That's 215-545-9588 for the Capitol Grill, Center City.
Are you looking for a checking account with convenient access and digital tools that can flex to your needs? Then check out Penn Community Bank's Free Checking Plus. With no monthly balance requirement and no monthly service fee, plus all the handy banking services and features you want and need. Early direct deposit? Check. Overdraft grace? Check. Mobile banking and Zelle? Check, check. Visit PennCommunityBank.com/free+ to learn more. Penn Community Bank. Here we grow. Account and feature terms, restrictions, and conditions apply. Ask for full details. Member FDIC.
Planning to go to the game? Give LimoToday.com a call. You'll get to the game and back safely and in style. Why worry about the traffic and parking when you can relax and let LimoToday.com do the driving for you and your friends? And if you book a 5-hour trip with LimoToday.com, you'll get the 6-hour free. From sedans to minibuses to vans and stretch limos, let LimoToday.com get you to the game. Give them a call at 1-866-LIMO-TODAY. That's 1-866-LIMO-TODAY.
Enjoy a world of Italian wine and cuisine in nearby Philadelphia at Grand Cafe L'Aquila. This Italian landmark cafe offers a wide variety of Italian options for both lunch and dinner, and before you leave, try their award-winning gelatos. Offering an online market for your favorite meats, cheeses, coffee, and much more, it's Grand Cafe L'Aquila website at grandcafel'Aquila.com. Call them today at 215-568-5600. That's 215-568-5600. 1-800-848-4600 or visit them at their flagship location at 1716 Chestnut Street in Philadelphia. The world of Italian cuisine is only a 30-minute drive away at Grand Cafe La Cola.
Don't hang out alone in the man cave this football season. Hang out at Cheerleaders with sexy entertainers, $4 Miller Lights, Jameson specials, and awesome game day prizes during all Sunday and Monday football games. Stop in before, during, or after the game to see your favorite entertainers and your chance to win an awesome game day prize. The most epic game day experience is at Cheerleaders Gentlemen's Club, where champions play. Open daily from noon till 2 a.m.
All tires aren't the same, and neither are all tire dealers. Michelin tires offer safe, fuel-efficient, long-lasting tires that provide exceptional performance and extraordinary value. BF Goodrich tires are built for drivers looking for high performance and aggressive styling. Trust the tire experts at CJ's Tire and Automotive in Fairless Hills. They'll get you in and out in no time, and their everyday low prices on BF Goodrich and Michelin tires can't be beat. CJ's Tire and Automotive. Better, faster, and more affordable.
We now return to Chickies and Pete's for the Pro Football Report, presented by BCWSA. Once again, here are your hosts, Delaware County Times Birds reporter Bob Grotz and voice of the Philadelphia Eagles, Merrill Reese.
And back we are with our guest, Arryn Siposs. It is time now for this week's Penworth Financial Keys to the Game. The key to your financial future is Penworth Financial. Call them today at 267-997-4503 or visit penworth.com. All right, Bob, I'll let you go first with the key to an Eagles win over the Arizona Cardinals.
Keep Kyler Murray from scrambling to his left.
Why his left?
He loves to go to the left. You would think to the right, but that's his sweet spot. He gets out there, and even more than that, you have to guard against the unscripted plays. You have to get him on. You have to keep him in the pocket as much as you can, and try and make him run the plays that they want him to run.
Now he's not having a great season.
No, he's. But sometimes that happens after you sign the big contract.
Of course, don't forget he is missing one person. DeAndre Hopkins, one of the best wide receivers in the NFL,
right.
And he is under a 6-game suspension for PEDs. So fortunately for the Eagles, this is week 5 of 6. So Arryn, you're not gonna see DeAndre Hopkins.
No, I won't. So that's probably a good thing.
That's a very good thing.
The offensive line has some injuries too.
Well, I think, as Bobby said, number one is keeping Kyler Murray under control.
Right.
Number two, I would say, is just let Jalen Hurts be Jalen Hurts, because Nick Sirianni talked about it this week, and he said the thing when he goes for it on 4th down or tries something on 3rd down, he just has so much trust that Jalen Hurts will do the right thing with the ball in his hands.
Yep.
And and he has proven that he can win with his legs and he can win with his arms.
Yep.
So I'd say play a balanced game. You're not going to have the weather interfering, because with the weather the way it was last week, it really played havoc with the passing game, so the Eagles ran the ball 50-plus times.
Mm-hmm.
But I think a balanced offense will work against that team. Do you have a key you'd like to add?
Not really. I think the ones that you've just said are pretty darn good. I think it's going to be very crucial to keep Kyler inside the pocket. We all know how good he is in terms of making plays out of nothing, and the arm strength is obviously still there for a young guy too, and it's just about containing their bigger weapons like Marquise Brown, controlling their run game a little bit too, because James Connors can be quite dangerous at times on the ground as well. So if we can do that, and it'll put us in the best position to win. And right now we're obviously doing well on both sides of the ball, which is great, but they always bring a different challenge to us, and we probably haven't faced a guy like that just yet in terms of that has the speed that can get out and make plays yet. So we're looking forward to the challenge, and it's going to be exciting.
Matt Prater has a bad hip too.
Yeah, is that right? Oh, well, actually, I did read that actually, because last week I think he went into it a little bit too.
They signed another kicker,
okay.
Matt Amendola,
to
their practice squad, just in case. So.
I would have been happier if they signed Danny Amendola, because he can't he can't kick. but Matt Amendola, I assume, can.
Right.
Yeah, it's very, very interesting when you look at this. A lot of people say to me, what are the Eagles like? Are they walking around all full of themselves, 4-0? And I say, not this team. Because when you play for Nick Sirianni keeps your feet on the ground, and he says, let's go 1-0. Each week, let's go 1-0. And he always likens it to a heavyweight fight. He said, you have a 15-round bout. All right, you won 1 round. You won 2 rounds. You won 3.
Yep.
You won 4. This is you're not even a quarter of the season done.
Yep.
So, and I mentioned to Bob before, do you realize last year Arizona got off to a 7-0 start?
Yep.
And then lost 6 of their last 10 games.
Yep. They did.
Six.
They've done it 2 years in a row. Actually, I think the last year they were 7-0.
Yeah.
And then didn't make it, or something like that. And the year before they were 6-2. So it can happen at any stage. So we're very grounded right now, and you're spot on with Coach Sirianni always keeping us in that position, because in the end there's a bigger goal than just having an O on the right hand side. So. There's plenty of things that we need to work on to continuing to prove. We haven't played the complete game yet. There's a lot to go, and while we've been really good in most situations, there's always a little bit to work on and get better at. So that's what we strive for, and it's another opportunity this week to be able to do that.
Okay.
Now, last week he showed you Tiger Woods, right?
Yes, he did.
Has he showed you any vintage video this week?
Not yet. We wait until later in the week to be able to do that.
Okay.
That's more of a little pre-game thing that we do as a group, and he's pretty good at it.
Yeah. Tiger Woods isn't a bad guy to follow.
It's not a bad one to follow at all. Yeah.
Okay, here we go. We're going to pick some games. We don't pick the Eagles.
Okay.
All right, the Thursday night
Bears.
game. No, the Thursday night game is...
Oh, well, you always have Chicago in here somewhere.
Well, not yet.
All
So
right.
wait. All right, the Colts at the Broncos. Bobby.
Broncos.
Okay. Aaron.
Oh, I'm going to go with the Colts on the road.
I'm going with the Colts, too. All right, this is the Sunday morning game in London.
Oh, boy.
Giants and the Packers.
Giants and the Packers. In London?
In London.
Oh, my God.
Well, give me a winner.
I guess I'm going to go with the Packers, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm jumping on the Packers.
Yeah,
You know what? If it was Melbourne, I would take the Giants.
We don't need the Giants.
Okay. Tennessee at Washington. Come on, Bob.
Tennessee.
Tennessee.
Yeah, I'm going the Titans as
3
well.
with the Titans.
They're desperate.
Dallas at the Rams. I don't think the Rams lose 2 straight.
I agree. I'm going with the Rams all the way.
I'm going with the upset.
F those Cowboys.
Cooper Rush.
You're going with the Dallas? Okay.
Cooper
I
Rush,
just saw a banner that said Jerry Jones said that Dak Prescott's thumb is not better yet, and he'd have trouble holding onto the football. And then it said, but they would not rule him out.
Yeah.
Good. What's he going to
That
throw?
sounds-
Is he going to throw with his feet?
That sounds about right.
Yeah. Cincinnati at Baltimore.
Ooh.
Bob, instead of oohing and eyeing, would you give us a winner?
I'll take the Ravens.
Okay, you're taking
Ravens,
Baltimore.
yeah.
Is this at Baltimore?
It's at Baltimore.
Yeah, I'll say Baltimore as well.
So will I. Lions at the Patriots. Okay, Bob.
Patriots.
Patriots.
I don't care that their quarterback's gone.
Okay.
I might go with an upset here and pick the Lions.
I will too. I'm with you. Miami at the Jets.
At the
Miami
Jets?
without Tua. At the Jets.
I'll take the Jets. Yeah.
I like Teddy. I think Miami can get it done. They've got. I feel like they've got more explosive guys
Okay.
on the team.
All right. Although they got a pretty good game last week from their young quarterback.
They did. I know Zach's pretty good, but I just think having Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle is a very, very explosive combination.
You would think, yeah. but Teddy, oh my God.
I know, but when you have Tyreek Hill and Jalen, I think that makes it okay. So I'm going to go with the Dolphins.
Okay, I'm going with the Jets.
Ooh, okay.
The Chargers at Cleveland.
Oh, this is easy. Who are you taking?
Go ahead. I'm taking the Chargers.
I'll take the Chargers too.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll go with the Chargers as well. We'll go 3 for 3.
Hopefully they could catch the ball too.
Not sure
Justin
how well
Herbert,
that Justin Herbert is right now.
You know what? They can't catch.
They'll be all right.
All right. We're out of time. So, Bob, thank you for being here as usual. And, Aaron, you have been a great guest. Thank you so much for joining us.
No worries. Thank you for having me,
And
guys. Really
thank you
appreciate
to
it.
our great engineer, Chris Irmer. Thank you once again to
Matt Miro.
Matt Miro was here tonight.
Did an excellent job.
And Lee Alexander was here, who did absolutely nothing. So that will wrap up our show. We'll be back here at Chickies and Pete's in the Great Northeast next week, and our guest is going to be backup center Cam Jurgens, who is a bright young star on the horizon. So for Arryn, for Bob, for Chris, for Matt, for me, have a great weekend, and we will see you from Arizona Sunday afternoon. Good night, everyone.
You've been listening to the Pro Football Report, presented by BCWSA. Tonight's show is an exclusive presentation of 1490 AM, as well as 107.3 FM, and heard around the world at WBCB1490.com.